Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
This is the Geek Podcast with Jishnu and Tejas.
Has been an awakening.
Okay.
Have you felt it?
Yeah,
Jishnu, though, have you felt it?
It's very early in the morning.
Okay,
It's
all
like,
right.
It's
No, as in that's what it was. The awakening was us waking up and coming to the studio.
It's 2:45 in the
You know what the funny
PM,
thing is,
but
though?
I'm still waking up.
Yeah. Oh, is it 2:45?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so it's not that early at all in the day.
It's really not.
I keep thinking that, sometimes we cannot do this podcast and also, not talk about stuff outside, but we find enough material for all of it, which is why it's good.
You talk, I don't listen, and I zone out,
Yeah.
and I just smile.
This world is so wondrous. There's so
I
much
go to
talk
my
about.
mind palace away from you, and you just keep talking.
I'm
and-
curious to know what that looks like. Okay, man. So, hi, everyone. This is the Geek Fruit Podcast with me, Tejas,
Nerds.
and Jishnu.
Yeah.
So, what is today's episode about? Jishnu?
TV and all such things like it.
Okay, cool. So, what exactly are we talking about? There's a lot of things in TV, man. Actually, that's what I was talking about. There has been an awakening in the past, say, like 5 years, but in television, and it's like television has it's come of age. Like it's really come
it's
of
the
age.
golden age of TV, and it's the regurgitating age of
It's the throw up age.
film. Yeah.
It's the had a really good time last night.
Yeah.
Next morning.
Yep, exactly.
after-
It's the morning after for cinema,
For cinema.
and the night is young for television.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
a very good way of putting it. And I think it's just because like. There's a number of reasons why technology, a bunch of things have like technology, like just the artists, the directors, everything have just become better, and they're recreating a cinematic style on television. Where television and cinema used to have such a vast like divide between both of them in terms of like payment for the actors, in terms of just the the quality of it, the way they shot it. It was so much more. It was so different, and now it's like practically the same. It's like. Television has just become really, really long movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times when people watch specifically like Netflix shows and things that are now condensed to like 10, 13 episodes at best, and they're released at the same time, which is mainly Netflix and Hulu does that a lot.
Yeah.
I think people's experience of it, like how much they enjoyed it, in which they say it was a great show, but like, there was some draggy episodes. I think it has to do with how they consume it in terms of how much you binge at a time.
Yeah,
because
you were saying
there's
this,
no
yeah.
way you can watch all 13 episodes. Like say, like Jessica Jones, you can't watch all 13 episodes in one shot. You physically will not be able to like sit
I know,
there.
no, as in,
right?
like I know people have done it.
But it's not
But
recommended.
yeah, I think it's not
So
recommended.
I think, at least this has worked for me. I treat shows that are binge-worthy like that in 3 parts, as an Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. So when I did Jessica Jones, I think I saw 3, 4, and 4.
3, 4, and 4 episodes wise.
Yeah, episode-wise. So it's like 3 hours, 4 hours, and 4 hours. Over
Wow.
like 2 days or 3 days.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I did pretty much the same thing. Like as in I watched like I think I separated into like 3-4 days of viewing, and then I finished it off.
Yeah.
And I think it is better. It's better that way. You can't just. It's not like old school television where you can only watch one episode at a time, right? I mean, though we have to still do it for many shows which are not online, like which are on Netflix. But yeah, man, like, and I think that one episode thing is like, it's a weight. Like people don't want to watch only 60 minutes of television. It's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd much rather do at least like a movie's length, which is like 1.5 hours or 2 hours, at the minimum, I think. And I think that's also why like Sherlock also works really well, because like each episode in the series
90 minutes,
is like,
it's good.
it's a movie
90 minutes
length.
is a really
It's
nice.
crazy, yeah. It's perfect. It's satisfying, and you get a conclusion-ish kind of for an arc. It's good. So I think it does a number of things. So anyway, we're going to be talking a lot about TV, and we're going to be talking about specifically the things we love on television right now, which is like this whole resurgence of, good comic book or science fiction concepts on television. So we're going to be discussing a few shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Jessica Jones, obviously the Netflix shows, Daredevil and the Luke Cage and Iron Fist to come. And yeah, talking about Flash, the CW CW craze, which is like Flash, Supergirl's on CW, is it?
Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow.
And Arrow, all three of them on CW. Okay, so and we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk a little bit about Indian television. I have no idea what, but it's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna talk about the fact that there's nothing to talk about. Not much.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So cool. We're gonna take a short break, and then we'll be back, and we'll talk about all this cool stuff on the television.
Pay them bills.
Now, if you want to listen to some brilliant indie music from all over the country, it's really simple. You can find me on Made in India. That's madeinindia.in. My name is May, and it's spelled M-A-E-D. Now, I've had some great artists on the show, including the likes of Nikhil D'Souza, The Cognac Net, Last Remaining Light, Tejas Menon, The Other People, Alicia Pays, Lakshmi Baum, Vasudha Sharma, Ankur Tiwari, and so many more. Now, if you want to subscribe, you can go to iTunes or Stitcher or your favorite podcast app, or you can find me on my website. That's madeinindia.in. That's M-A-E-D, or on Twitter and Facebook on Made in India.
Right, welcome back to the Geek Food Podcast. I'm Tejas, and Jishnu is having some coffee.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's important to note that this is a really effort-based...
Driven? I don't know where you're going with this.
Effort-driven task, speaking about stuff for an hour. Not really. It's fine. We do that all the time.
Yeah.
So we're talking about television, man. If I was not here in this studio recording this show with you, I'd be watching television, man. Because that's what I do at home.
You need to get a job.
No, I left my job to do this. Which was it was a disaster of a decision. No, it's a great decision. So yeah, we're going to be talking about stuff which we really love, which is what we do. And a lot of it is on television right now. I'm really enjoying a lot of... Like we were just saying, like how they've been treating like shows right now, especially for, comic books. I feel like for comic book heroes, superheroes, like it feels like it was so much more meant for a television medium. Yeah. Because that's the narrative based, the serial based, and like it always has been there. So it just feels like a much more like of a natural fit than a film.
Than a movie, yeah.
Yeah, but
my sentiments
films
exactly
have always been like the moneymakers until now, and now it's like changed, and it's really really good stuff on television. I know we have an irrational, almost unreasonable, love for like some shows which are not really that good at all, but we just like it anyway. Case in point, Gotham, which you said has become really good now.
I really like it now.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it yet, right?
So, okay, so let's do this. Let's start with like...
You want to start with Gotham?
Let's start with Gotham.
All right. So you have... How much have you seen?
I saw the first season, and I saw
entire thing. Okay.
The first 2 episodes of the second season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will give you the first season was completely hit or miss. Every episode was like 50-50. Some was shit, some were great. And the ones that were great were, I thought, really good. This season, season 2, we're halfway through it now. It's not giving much away. I mean, it's called the season of like the villains or the rise of the villains or whatever.
But isn't that like the whole show?
That is technically the whole show, but this one it's really expedited because now it's no longer a situational. Okay, it's no longer a situational kind of thing.
It's not a sitcom anymore.
It's not a sitcom anymore because like with the first season for a lot of the episodes it was what are they up to this week, and Gordon and his buddy would do that. But now there's actually a very continuing Bullock. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
There's actually now an overarching continuation through every episode, and it's really about Penguin and the Riddler. The Riddler's finally getting his...
So that's like one of the few things we spoke about.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with that guy.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
I'm very happy with how he's done it. And the Joker's in it. Yeah. He's not given as much screen time.
I think his time will come, I guess,
I don't want to...
Spoil it for me.
Spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it.
Yeah. You're not missing much. Yeah. So that's the thing, right? So Gotham, the premise of the show is, okay, it's before Batman. Really, did we want to see a show like that? Okay, we're watching it anyway. So that's the whole point. Like, so Jishnu and I, we started watching because we just will watch anything which has got to do with Batman. And like, that's how I started watching. And I was like, wow, this is terrible. This is so bad.
But now it's sort of like, they're making their own story completely with everything. Everybody's origins are completely their own. Like, they've made this entire world of their own. So now it's sort of got to the point where Gotham stands on its own feet, finally. The first season, it was a lot
have to keep
comparing it.
Right?
You'd have to keep comparing it to like what already exists out there in the lore and stuff like that. And now I think in season 2, they're really owning what they're doing. And I still absolutely detest Bruce Wayne in this series
I think
and
he's
that
a
whole
kid.
thing. I just can't get over that.
You
guy.
think that like it was unnecessary to have him at all in this?
Yes.
Like he could have
Yeah.
been in that time where he's out of Gotham,
He
right?
can be there. He can be a character that like shows up once in a while and like says a funny line and goes away, and that's cool. But
That's Batman does.
yeah, you know,
Show up, say.
that crazy wacky guy. But no, now they're really doing their own thing with everything, with every character's backstory, with every character's with how they're moving forward. It's very much their own, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that because now it's
Yeah, so like
they've set their own feet.
Some of the things that I did like about the first season was just like I like the arc about like I like that, like my favorite arc obviously is about like what's happening in Gotham, like the PD, the GCPD. I really like what like that, you know, it could have been like a detectives kind of thing, but you know, like, and Batman is like kind of like there in the background of it all. So I really like that stuff. I love Bullock. I love all the stories that are set, like based in that. I didn't really, and a big part of the show is about, you know, the Penguin's rise to power. Like he's pretty much the most important character in this, at least in the first season.
Yeah.
And like how he's kind of basically conniving his way through all the Maroney family and all the crime
Right,
families basically
right,
to the top. And I just found that sometimes it was like you said, it was hit or miss. You know, like I don't know, Fish Mooney. Just I mean, she's good. It's like very hammy. Like the
Yeah.
whole
The whole
like,
show
the
is
show's
hammy,
pretty
yeah, yeah.
hammy, and it's also set in this really weird time, right?
Weird
it's
noir,
not
like early 90s kind
yeah,
of a thing.
because they don't
Yeah.
have cell phones.
They
like,
do. They have cell phones, but
but
they don't.
it's like
it's
old school.
It's old flip phones and
Yeah.
things like
so
that.
are they saying that Batman like is our time right now?
I guess.
And that's
I guess.
like,
Yeah.
basically,
Once he becomes Batman, he would be in the early 2010s.
yeah,
I guess. Right. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. By the way, interesting side note. Didn't you realize that, you know, in the whole Dark Knight trilogy, Batman only exists for a year and a half max.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you think about it, in the first movie, Batman Begins, he celebrates his 30th birthday. That's why, you know, he gets ambushed by, you know, Ra's al Ghul, or should I say, Henry Ducard, because his family was taken from him. But yeah, man, so he becomes Batman in that movie, okay? And at the end of the film, he gives him Joker's card, okay? And we can say maybe 6 months has passed since...
Not much.
And he gives up being Batman at the end of that film. So it's like,
Yeah.
literally, that's like about maybe a year has
Yeah.
passed. And then he comes back literally
He
for
comes
like
back
3
for a
days.
day. Or like 3, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He
yeah.
comes back for like 3 days, and that's it, it's done.
And then he kills himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, yeah.
So
Or he stages it.
isn't that hilarious though? That's true. My God, he's like, he got it easy, and he's just like, I've been through so much pain. It's like he did this 1 year project, like, you know, it's like he did his Eat, Pray, Love of like Batman, and he just bounced like from there. Anyway, sorry, it keeps bothering me, man. Anyway, sorry, we get back to Gotham, but Gotham is cool, man. Like, I don't like that Bruce Wayne. He's a kid. He's like what, 12? He's already Batman in this show,
Yeah,
isn't he?
it's just I just punched that guy.
Yeah,
Seriously,
okay, let's not. He's a
no.
kid, but why is he Batman? Or why is he so like?
No. He's boxing
He's
with
a-
Alfred.
Yeah.
like that. I just don't get it. I really like the actor for Alfred.
Yeah,
I
I
forget his
really
name.
like him. He's really
He's
good.
really cool. He's got a nice.
He's got a different
his own unique
take,
style to
yeah.
it. But then you see scenes where they're sparring together with like boxing gloves on. He's like,
I'm going to teach you how to fight.
put your chin up, monster. Wind down. I was like, what? It's
Yeah, it's silly to do
no,
it. It's almost like they're trying to make it like the Smallville of like Batman.
essentially, yeah.
So what I thought they would do is like maybe fast forward, like maybe at the end of season 2 or something. They should skip a few years just to see like the progress
He
of
needs
the...
to go away.
Yeah, he needs to
If he
leave,
just
yeah.
leaves and says, "I'm gonna go to
They should just
Tibet,
kill,
Nepal,"
they should just
and
kill his character off. I don't know.
Seriously. But the great thing about season 2 is that it's mainly about Riddler and Penguin getting buddy.
Okay.
Like it ends
Oh, they're becoming like
mid season.
conspirators.
So at this mid season point, it's
Right.
it's not a really big spoiler at all. I don't think so. It's that Riddler's finally become Riddler.
Oh,
Like
okay,
in
cool.
season 1, he killed somebody.
Yeah,
and
at
I was
the
like,
end, that's like-
oh, so now things
Oh,
are
sorry,
gonna
by
happen.
the way, guys, spoiler alert.
Nah.
Yeah.
Season 1, he killed somebody, and so season 2 is him sort of dealing with schizophrenia and things like
Right,
that. And
right.
so where we're at right now, they finally meet,
Okay. Oh, okay, sweet. All
and
right.
they're roommates.
What?
So it's really
Besties,
funny. It's really
roomies.
funny. It's got this Bert and Ernie kind of thing to it.
Nice.
And it's really
bizarre.
cool.
So I
It's
think
bizarre.
That's how
I
we
like
can
it a lot.
define this
It's
show.
very
It's always
bizarre.
been really bizarre. Like, I don't know what the time period. It's cool. I mean, I feel like the it's like that period kind of piece, and it's cool. Like some of the art is really nice. Like that's one of my
I
friends.
love how it looks.
Yeah,
I really love how it
who
looks.
didn't like who doesn't watch like a lot of like Batman. It's not really a nerd or anything like that. But she loves the show, man. She's like, the art is really, really like
is.
unique.
It's beautiful.
It's like kind of got that timeless kind of thing. So it's quite interesting that way.
And
it's very Tim Burton almost there.
And you can't deny the showrunners. They have balls. Like they take very bold
liberty. Yeah.
They take risks and they run with it. They don't half-ass anything.
You were saying that they might kill off a character. That would be cool, right? Imagine just like changing. It's like they do Inglourious Bastards version of it. Just kill off Hitler, and just like maybe it would be interesting. That would be there would be like then it suddenly becomes like an Earth 2 version of Gotham. That would be cool. Yeah, man. So
cool.
So that's one show which I was always using as like a standard to compare the rest of the other shows which we were watching, which all some of the good shows at least of last year, which obviously we really loved. Some of the CW stuff. I don't know. You watched Arrow, right?
I watched I think the entire first season. I think.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
So I watched the first season.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Yeah, it was like and
I watched a bit of season 2.
Oh yeah.
I think I saw an episode or two.
Okay.
I really don't know because like I blocked out that show. Like seriously, that was so disappointing.
I think it's because it was finding its feet. Like that's really what it is. I mean, like you said you didn't like Clone Wars that much because the first season of Clone Wars, what it did was like it was kind of catering to an audience that didn't really know what to do. And
I didn't finish Clone Wars. Yeah, so I still need to go back on that.
Yeah, you should because like that so that's really what happens in the first season. I think they don't really know what level, especially when it comes to superhero shows.
And we're talking the full-blown CG version, not the hand-drawn.
No, not the hand. The hand-drawn one was like a 5-minute
Tartakovsky
kind of special thing.
I started that. Both of them I started. I haven't.
Yeah, no. So that one you can finish easily. Yeah. But anyway, so coming back to this, the superhero thing is very hard to know what exact audience you're going for. Are you going for like the hardcore nerds? Are you going for like because you have to kind of do everything. You have to balance so many things. You have to like do a little bit of fan service, and then finally when you know what you are good at, like I think that's what Flash did really, really well, is that they found out like, I don't give a shit about what's gonna happen. We're gonna do a show that is a kind of a very young lovers comedy kind of rom-com kind of thing, but with superpowers.
Exactly. It's like the OC. It's a teen dramedy.
Is this what the OC was like? Because I don't watch the hell out of that show.
Did you never see the OC?
No, man. I was doing this kind of stuff. I was reading books.
I did see it. I'm sad to say.
That's okay, man.
Saw it.
But one second, isn't this guy from the OC?
Exactly that. And I flipped when I saw that he was going to be Gordon. I was like, what the hell? But he's great.
So Detective Gordon is from the OC.
He was like the main guy. He was the teen heartthrob in the OC.
He was a teen heartthrob.
That guy's name came up like every day at lunch when I was like 14 in school. Like all the girls like, Ben McKenzie. Like,
why did they sound like a dude?
They were sitting. What? That wasn't a dude.
Yeah.
They were on helium.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it is strange how they've kind of. That's what superhero shows are right now on television. There's no hardcore like Nolan style show. There's like a mashup of what they want to do, but then it's like they're saying, "Oh, we really want to do a rom-com show. What's the most interesting thing we could do with it right now?" And then they say, "Hey, have you heard of this concept called the Flash?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, boom, let's just do it that way."
Yeah.
Because Flash can be actually pretty serious. Like in the comics, like he goes through it's quite traumatic for him. And I think that's really what they've done well with is that, even though he has this like childhood trauma, he didn't go all Bruce Wayne about it. He didn't just go like, I'm just gonna go into my car. He didn't become like emo Kylo Ren.
He didn't become emo Kylo Ren, but he did. He had that dark side anger the whole way through. He never let go of that. He still has that.
Ooh, Barry.
Yeah.
So I mean, but he's
even in
taken
season
it so
2.
much.
He's still like.
And I think it's because like he grows up with a foster family and Joe West. Yeah. So I think so. Just to back up right there, I think so. Flash did so much better than Arrow because of this. Like I think Arrow was struggling to find its
Arrow
base.
just took itself way too seriously.
Way too seriously.
And the problem is that now it's come to the point where superheroes are so much in the mainstream, but still we only know a select few. The numbers are growing every year with especially with what Marvel's doing for superheroes.
This is true.
But Green Arrow has never been a big name. He's never been a household name, right?
Yeah,
so when he comes along, Flash definitely a lot more so, but still not the biggest, right? So when both of them came along, Flash had this sort of like, like you said, little easygoing, doesn't take itself too seriously. It's funny, it's cute. So he's charming. He's likable in that way. So people were gravitated to it.
Yeah.
Arrow comes in straight off the bat and he's like,
Batman.
I'm brooding and I'm Batman. I was like,
he's
no, you're
pretty
not.
much Batman,
like,
which is funny.
Give me a reason why I should believe you.
Yeah.
And it was just way too over the top.
It's the opposite effect of what happened to Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man, because like Iron Man in the comics is like this asshole. He's a terrible guy. He's arrogant. and he's a genius. He's still a genius, and he's a billionaire and all that stuff. But he's an alcoholic, and he's terrible. And then they made him like really funny in these movies. I think like the opposite, because Green Arrow is so funny in like he's like really got this like this tongue in cheek kind of humor.
Is he? I don't know.
Yeah,
jack
in the comics.
about
So
Green
yeah,
Arrow.
I
really don't know jack about Green Arrow.
there's actually a really couple of good runs. The Green Arrow and Black Canary stuff is really good, especially this one which I really love called The Wedding Album, and it's basically about how they're gonna. The process for their wedding is happening, and they're just like getting everything together, and it's going to be a superhero wedding, so it's really cool. And they have like this one page which is like a cross section of all the superheroes' responses to them getting an invitation to their wedding, and like everyone is like, oh yeah, that's great, that's so awesome. Superman is like, oh, that's excellent, I will RSVP. Some people are just like, I give it a year, and Bruce Wayne is just like, not now, Alfred. That's so cool. It's really awesome. It's a really good comic book. So,
Cool.
So that's what I really liked about Green Arrow, which they kind of really subverted, and they just like changed that completely, and then just made it super serious. So I don't know, man. And there's a lot happening in that show.
And,
Ra's al Ghul
I
is
see
there.
him. Yeah, so we watched like the highlight reel
Yeah,
of
that was
season 2,
great.
and the highlight reel, which was like, how long was that? That
was
was
like 3-4
minutes. That was cool. I was like, whoa, this is really interesting. But
Yeah,
I
we
still
should watch
wouldn't
the show.
But I still couldn't watch it. Like, if you give me like the plot points, and like
Yeah.
here's the beats, I was like, oh, those are some really interesting beats. You handled it terribly,
Yeah.
but your beats were good.
Your beats are good, yeah.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, is useless to me.
Yeah.
But they do these crossover episodes, right? Flash and Arrow.
I was just gonna get
And
to that, yeah.
They're not that great. Because he
The crossovers
shows
are
up and you're just
terrible.
like, why is this idiot here again?
Yeah.
And it's very like,
I think every season Flash stumbles at that point, like, because like it becomes this really stuffed episode of everyone trying to casually
Right.
catch everyone up on what's happened.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, you didn't know what was
Yeah.
happening, like literally
it's like,
one
oh,
city away.
Who's this new girlfriend you have? Oh, I've never seen her before. Like, oh, what's this new suit you have? Oh, great. You have the word green in front of your name now? All right, cool.
And somebody make a funny joke about it to kind of cover it
exactly.
up.
And then you have to go and watch. So they started it in the crossover is 2 episodes. They
Those
started it in
sneaky
Flash,
guys.
and then to finish that story arc, you have to watch Arrow. I was like, I'm not gonna go. No.
That was so funny though.
I
because
just haven't
watched
finished it.
I saw the first part of the episode, right? And then I just clean moved on to the next one. And then Dinkar was like, so didn't you finish watching it? I was like, what do you mean finish watching it? He's like, there's a whole part. I was like, oh yeah, we completely just disregarded that whole part of that episode.
I had that feeling for 5 minutes of the next episode, like when,
Yeah.
so whatever episode it was,
That came after
that
it.
was just Flash,
Yeah.
that followed that one. I was like, oh, it was on a cliffhanger, but well,
I didn't care
really care so much, so whatever.
Because you know it's wrapped up neatly, because
Yeah.
you know it's a crossover episode.
Exactly.
So I think Flash has done really well. Like, I don't know what people are saying about this second season. I don't know how it's been received, but I really like it, man.
I like it.
love
I like
Flash.
it.
Like, the second season is taken on this much
I
seriously.
know that some people definitely are fed up with the time travel business and the
Why?
alternate. I mean, because
That's the best part.
It's the best part. It's also the riskiest part. So that's kind of why it's like it could be great for some people. It could be too much for some. And I get that. I love it, but I understand why people are apprehensive about that. Because now it's like the whole show is based around that.
That's great.
The last season ended with like, hey, this thing is going to happen for like 2 episodes. It may or may not continue. That's kind of how it was left.
Sure.
And now it's like the whole thing is about Earth 1 and Earth 2. Which, by the way, funny little thing, which I keep thinking about every time
Yeah, you told me
the other
this.
Flash comes by. Or rather, I guess even like the first
He's
time he
Flash,
came by.
yeah.
He came by and they're like, yeah, I'm from a different Earth and whatnot. They're like, oh, crap. All right, cool. So we're just going to call your Earth Earth 2. Like, I would be like, wait, why am I the inferior Earth? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Well,
why am I Earth
it's
number
just
2?
a number.
It's a number, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Earth 2 is supposed to be the real Earth in the comics, though. Like, the
they
one
didn't,
which we
they
all
didn't, they
inhabit.
didn't discern that.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
So because apparently, like, all of these guys, Jay Garrick, the Jay Garrick Flash, is on Earth too. Like, he's on the main Earth of all these Earths, of the infinite Earths. But, yeah, man, like, so I think that what I really like about, like, Flash the most, I think, is probably that this is what they're doing. They're doing time travel. They're doing the multiverse. They're doing Final Crisis. They at least teased it. It's a very, very famous run in the comics, and they've teased it and they're getting towards it. And that's what I really hated about Smallville, right? I watched that damn show for 10 seasons. Well, I skipped like 6, 7, 8, 9. I pretty much just came back because he said, "Oh my God, this season he is gonna be Superman," and you were just like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome!" Finally, and the last minute of the whole show is when he becomes Superman. Just the last minute. And I was just like, I waited 10 seasons to see this happen, and it's gone. And sure, that was the premise of the show. It was like, you're going to see the Smallville era of his life and how he discovers. But I wanted to see a little more. And what I love about Flash is that Like first season, 2 episodes, boom, he's Flash.
Yeah.
He's doing Flash things.
Yeah.
He's throwing lightning into a bottle. He's doing everything, and I love that, man. I love the time travel aspect of it. All the characters are really like casually written. Like I love Cisco. He's hilarious. He's so great.
I didn't see Smallville, but was that the show that had the Foo Fighters as the theme song?
No, that was "Save Me" by Remy Zero. I remember this song.
So which one? Which one? There was the Aurora from.
What?
There's
Really?
Nothing Left to Lose.
Yeah?
It was a theme song with.
Oh, for sure. What are you saying?
With Tom Cavanaugh. That's
Oh,
Ed. Oh my
of course.
god.
Ed is awesome.
Ed and
Yeah,
Smallville
yeah.
have nothing in common, but hey,
But-
it has a good theme song.
It has a great theme song, and Ed. I mean, Tom Cavanaugh. Like he's what a
I love that man.
fantastic
I love
actor.
that man.
I mean, literally sometimes holds the entire episode together because of his
Between him and Jesse Martin's smile.
Yeah, and his just warm, good. I want him to be my father.
I know. Every show.
Every show's
he
just like,
sends the fields, and I'm like,
Dude,
just
that guy's
give me a
face,
hug.
he can just convert. He's so
I know,
good,
man.
man. He's so good. Like, they have really strong casting on this show. Everyone's been really
Mm-hmm.
good. So, yeah, man, Flash is
Ooh,
fantastic.
Fun little thing. I realized this so late in the game. Cisco, the guy that plays Cisco, I actually saw him on Broadway.
What?
I saw, like, maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I saw, the movie Once.
Yeah, I've
Right,
loved it.
so
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
it was made into a Broadway musical.
yeah.
He-
With the girl from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
The mother.
Kristen Milioti, something.
Yeah, Christina Milioti.
Something. But
I made up that.
saw, but I saw it on Broadway like 2 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Who is he?
Cisco was this guy. Like they made up a whole bunch of extra characters around the movie.
okay,
and
yeah.
he was this guy that barely spoke English. He was Hispanic.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he played the ukulele. And he was like sort of like a chorus member, but it was a very small ensemble. Hence, I remembered his face. And so, like for the entire first season, as I'm watching, I was like, I know I've seen you.
Oh,
and then
wow,
finally,
that's cool.
one day, I IMDb'd it. I was like, holy crap!
So he's a musician also.
He's a musician.
That's
and a damn
that
good one.
makes it
There's
like,
a
even
video.
better.
Okay, another reason I love Jesse L. Martin. There's
Yeah.
a video, a small tiny clip that's like a minute and a half on YouTube of Jesse L. Martin, Cisco, and the guy that plays the guy that died, the boyfriend. The blonde guy, the cop. Eddie. So Cisco, Eddie, and Jesse L. Martin singing an a cappella version of Firefly's theme song.
What?
It was so cool. I was like,
That's
it had nothing to do with
amazing.
anything. It's just a random clip of them sitting in like an interview room.
Oh,
and
that's so good.
1, 2, 3, 3-part harmony.
Oh,
and I was like,
so
what
good.
the- and Jesse L. Martin has
And
a
that guy, Eddie,
beautiful
can
voice.
sing?
Yeah.
Oh my
like,
God.
really well.
Oh, wow.
And
did they
apparently
kill him?
Grant Gustin, the lead, Flash,
Yeah.
is also like a Broadway guy.
Yeah, I'm sure, but as in like as a
As a
musical Broadway?
musical lead
Wow.
on Broadway.
These guys are too talented, man.
I don't know
Like,
where they get
I don't know.
It's like, I really want to see a musical episode now.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like, screw the crossover stuff.
We better see like
just do a musical
one
episode.
meta-human whose power is to convert
Sing
everyone
opera.
into song.
Okay.
Yeah, wow.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
man.
move on. Enough
Okay.
of this.
But Flash, so
flashness.
good.
So
That-
good.
yeah,
Let's get out of the CW.
Yes. No, so sad. We didn't even talk about Supergirl.
All right. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
What?
I've downloaded it. I haven't seen it.
It's all right. I've
It's
seen
on
a
my
couple
list.
episodes.
There's so much to watch.
Yeah, that's too much to watch.
Yeah.
That's a
How do you like it? How much have you seen, and how do you like
See,
it?
it's like, let me put it this way. Like, I had the VPN thing for Netflix, so I had Netflix before it came to India. By the way, Netflix in India, yay! We should talk about that. Anyway,
We will.
but yeah, so I had that anyway, so I was watching a bunch of stuff. And it was just on my laptop because I didn't have it anywhere else. I didn't want to sit on my laptop and watch it, I just wanted to casually watch. So I that's how I keep, like, separate stuff. Like, stuff that I watch on my television, stuff that I watch on my laptop, and stuff that I watch on my iPad. And I got Netflix in India just so I could watch stuff on my iPad. So this is iPad level viewing.
Right.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not at all,
Yeah.
it's not even computer.
It's got really good reviews, though, right? I think.
So it's like one of those things where,
Jeb Bush likes it a lot. Did you see that?
I love my Bush, guys.
Did you see this interview though, where he like it was this some
Of
random
Jeb Bush?
of Jeb Bush. It was just like this
Is he
tiny
still in the
snippet.
running, by the way?
I think so.
Is
But
he?
Barely. I mean,
Like, I hope so.
Like
I
no,
hope so.
like he's there, but not really.
Oh, God.
I think no. There was something where he just like commented really awkwardly because he's Jeb Bush. I don't know what the question was. It might have been about superheroes or not, but like he just like randomly blurted out like, "Yeah, that Supergirl is really hot, isn't she?"
What? Are you
On
serious?
like national television for like a political
Wow.
campaign. I was like, all right, cool.
That is a bit creepy.
So
No, I
Jeb
don't know
Bush
if I
gives
want
Supergirl
to.
its seal of approval.
Oh my God.
But how do you like it?
It's all right. It's a lesser Flash. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Because it's got its lighter moments, and she's really good. She's actually a good like Supergirl, and she's really cute. Like as Jeb Bush has mentioned,
like Jeb said,
she's really cute. She's in Whiplash, man. Do you remember?
Really?
Yeah, she's the one who gets slighted by Miles Teller. Well,
who
won that?
The
Fantastic Four lost. Sorry.
Damn.
Fantastic Four has been nominated for 5 Razzies.
What?
Yeah.
The new one with Miles Teller.
Yeah, the one with all of the good actors in a bad movie. I saw that movie. It's terrible. It's really bad. Good point. Should be a television series.
Yeah,
set in the 60s.
They should do a first family of
like a retro
Avengers,
futuristic kind of
they should do like an Agent Carter styled Fantastic Four set in that era.
I agree. Yeah,
and like that,
that would be awesome. There's a word for that, by the way.
What?
Do you know when they make movies? And I'll tell you, it's awesome. It's a good piece of trivia. Oh, I'm so glad I know this. when they
Who
make
says that? I'm so glad I know this piece of useless trivia.
I'll tell you. You'll appreciate it.
Yeah, you say it.
It's like when you make a movie, like if you've made a movie about a future that is yet to come, and then once you cross that date, it's called Days of Future Past. Really, it is. It's called Days of Future Past. Oh, not days, but like it's called something future. But it's called Future Past, which is cool. I just find that nice, and it's cool.
So like Back to the Future, like
Back to the Future,
October 21st,
or 2001: Space Odyssey.
Right.
Yeah.
Well then,
interesting.
There's your.
Come on, that's good, right?
Well, everybody, we learned something today, or did we?
On that note, though, we'll take a short break, and we'll be back. See ya.
You can listen to Cyrus Says from our apps on iOS, Android, or our website, cyrussays.in. You can also listen to services like iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcasting softwares. It's cyrussays.in.
Hey, and we're back to the grind. It's the Geek Fruit Podcast, man. Be more excited, Jishnu. Woo! Yes, that's the level of excitement I'm looking for.
Cool. So where are we at? We're at...
we're talking about television, man.
Are we on... Well, let's
get
with that digital stuff. Let's get on that Netflix that everybody is also excited about.
Yeah, so Netflix in India, what do you think? Does it work? Will it work? I don't know.
I'm glad that it
should be there.
It should. Even if it doesn't work as well as it will as it does in the States, which I don't think it will. I'm glad that we have that option because obviously people are too used to torrenting, and we have our ways of getting stuff the way we do, and streaming and whatnot illegally, but I'm going to get one just so I feel good about the fact that I'm actually seeing some things legally,
Sure, and it's very cheap. So I got this.
It is very cheap.
It's separated into three. So it's like 3 plans at least. One is like for $500, which is non-HD. I find that really surprising.
Really?
Yeah, like standard definition.
Yeah.
Viewing
they've adjusted it, I guess, for Indian internet speeds.
So basically, it becomes a really weird thing that they're kind of working around, which I just find it's interesting. I mean, why have it at all?
It'll eventually get there. We'll eventually get to 4G standards, and we'll get to higher speeds, and so it'll go away at some point.
Yeah. Then there's 600 rupees, which is like the HD plan, and there's a bunch of other things you get. Like you can view it at 2 screens at the same time, and you can get like a bigger membership. Like I don't know what it means. And then there's one which is 850 rupees, I think, which is Ultra HD. So,
is that 4K?
I guess it's like super high def.
All right.
So I got the 600 one. Like I said, I only got it to watch
Supergirl.
Really bad. No, it's not there. Is it there on Netflix? I'm not even sure.
Know.
But I want to basically watch some shows which I know I won't get the time for anywhere. Like on my iPad when I'm in bed, I'm just about to go to sleep. I just don't mind watching that. Which has actually become bad because I've stopped listening to in the last couple of days. I've stopped listening to podcasts and going to sleep. So that kind of has changed my thing of it. But it's cool, man. Like Netflix in India is cool. They're just gonna I don't know, is piracy still it's still a huge thing in India, I guess.
It's
more so than anywhere else in the world.
It's unfathomably huge.
Yeah, in India. Yeah. It's a shame.
I think I could be wrong, but I think I read somewhere India is like one of the largest consumers of the internet in that vein. In that we have the most people on it.
Yeah,
because there are so many
numbers,
people, right?
Again.
And obviously everybody and their mom is illegally doing something on the internet, getting something.
That sounds so weird. Everyone's mom is doing something illegal on the internet. Things. No, but yeah, man, it seems strange. This is what I don't get. Content is so readily available right now on the internet, and it's cheap, man. iTunes is so cheap. There's Apple Music.
I do use Apple Music.
Yeah, but so do I.
It's $120.
Yeah,
right?
a month.
120 rupees a month. That is.
And then you'll still go and
$2.
download like albums. I mean, but you'll pirate it and get it. It's weird, man. I don't know. It's just like they've made it as easy as possible for everybody to do it legally, and they're just not.
I'll tell you in all honesty how I use iTunes and Apple Music right now is that I will use Apple Music for listening to like one-off random songs that I want to hear from a random band. Like I'll give you an example of like 1975.
Okay.
I don't like them enough that I want to get the entire album.
This is universal truth,
Right? So like I'll listen to Girls, I'll listen to Chocolate, and one or two others. But when I want to say brush up on my Stevie Wonder, right? I want to download an entire Stevie Wonder album because I want to listen to the entire album.
But you can do that there as well.
So I'll illegally download the whole album so that I can listen to it without any interruption. Because now, again, with Apple Music and Indian internet connections, especially my brilliant MTNL connection.
Oh yes, shout out to MTNL guys.
Woo, it'll die out like
really.
mid-song. I mean, like, it happens now and again.
1 second. What am I even saying? Yes, I've been to your house too many times to know how terrible your internet is.
It's not my fault.
Oh
I didn't do it.
You need it. Yeah, there's something you gotta do. So every time I go to Jishnu's house, like
let's not go down this rabbit
he's
hole.
like, well, my internet is fine. I'm streaming stuff. I'm playing Marvel's Contest of Champions on my iPad and all that stuff. And I'll be like, oh, cool. Can I connect? And he's like, yeah, sure. It's fine. It's really fast. And then like I connect, and then it's boom. It's like he's like, you've done something. I don't know what.
It's
you
always
did.
you.
It's cursed my internet.
You have bad juju.
No, man. My juju is like perfectly fine. Just saying. But yeah, man. Like you have terrible. So getting to the point, terrible internet. I don't know if it's a problem. My house is fine. You've been there. It's fine. There's no problem. But yeah. By the way, on a separate note, I listen to Girls. I don't know. I listen to Chocolate. I listen to Girls. It's a great like title for something. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, speaking of the 1975. But yeah, coming back, man. So Netflix. I mean, it's cheap, man. Like content is really cheap, and it's just available. I don't know why. Even HBO Go is not in India yet, is it?
Nope.
It's not. Okay.
We're missing out on a lot of things. There are shows on Amazon, there are shows on Hulu, there's HBO Go.
So, but
There's
Amazon, so is Amazon Prime like, or is it Plus? I can't remember.
Prime,
it's Prime, yeah? So
but that's not a streaming thing, that's just a delivery thing.
Yeah, that's where this, the Ash vs. Evil Dead and all that stuff is on, right?
Oh, yeah, okay. I see what you mean. Yeah.
No, they have like content also. They have
content, yeah. But Prime, people, at least
that's for music, right?
I know Prime mainly just for like faster, cheaper delivery. That's what it's really for.
Yeah, man. It's okay. Final point is, it's really cheap. I don't know why people are still not. Why people? Yeah, just don't get it. It's weird. Yeah. Coming back, man. Let's talk about the stuff that we're getting cheap for free and downloading on torrents,
like Daredevil and Jessica Jones.
Yeah. Right? Hey, man. Netflix is so next level, dude.
So happy. Those shows make me so happy.
Yeah. It's really good.
Especially Jessica Jones. I think I dare to say I like it more than Daredevil.
Oh, what? Really?
Simply because, like, just from the first episode, like, 10 minutes in, just that, the visual style of that show is so really good. And obviously, I loved David Tennant. I thought he was brilliant.
He's great. Yeah.
I loved so much more how they handled him before he was actually revealed. Yeah. Like, when they would do that animation thing and, like, you'd see the purple shadow coming in, that was just, it was so beautiful. Good. It was like really a visual treat. And, of course, it's a great story and it's acted really well.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was not the biggest fan of Kristen Ritter.
I know you mentioned that. Yeah.
I thought she was fine. Yeah. I'm not saying she was bad.
Yeah.
I think there were people that could have done it better. But the show was just written so well that she didn't really have to be the best. Sort of like, kind of like with Star Wars. You know, I don't think like the originals are acted the best, but the story is just so good that you don't need the best acting. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. I don't know,
it was
man.
just a treat. That show.
Kristen Ritter, I really liked it. I really love the show as well. I just wonder if it's like, it's a hard character to kind of really root for, or like it's a hard character to like. Apart from the fact that, you know, she's badly damaged through this entire experience with, you know, the Purple Man and everything that's going on. But like, it's hard to root for a character, but she's just like, you know, beyond everything. And it's fair to say that, you know, all these events have made her into this, but she's just like, she's not a very likable person, like just generally.
That's fine. I mean, so, I don't mean the likability. I just mean I don't have to necessarily empathize with her, but I just think like she really just had like three faces.
Well, that's my point, right? Like that's her character. Her character is like, you know, like hard ass, you know.
I just didn't believe it. I just didn't believe you know, when she went from like grumpy to frowny to like she was basically she was the dwarves. She was just the dwarves. She was grumpy, frowny, sleepy.
We just, my friend and I were just making up this generation's 7 dwarfs would be like so much more, they would be like anti-socially. There would just be so many different dwarfs. Anyway, sorry, come back. But yeah, man, like, I mean, sorry, this is such a weird aside. But yeah, I mean, I still really did like Jessica Jones. I mean, like, I think it had a couple of like really, really strong kind of narrative things that were way stronger than Daredevil. Daredevil's like, you know, a very macro city-based kind of thing with this nice personal tale of this Catholic boy with powers. But, you know, like Jessica Jones is like some really, really hard issues, like, you know, the rape, and there's like, you know, abuse, and, you know, just a bunch of stuff, like, which is really hard to like put across.
To tackle. It's a hard thing to tackle.
And they did a fairly good job. Like, they didn't make it like, oh, you know, I don't want to watch this because it's so hardcore.
Right. It's a very delicate balancing act.
They did a really good job with that.
And I think what really did it for both the shows, for me, was the two, for both the shows respectively, their main supporting actors, Malcolm and Foggy. I loved both those guys so much. And especially, like, hands down, one of my favorite moments in television, especially in the realm of superhero stuff, was in Daredevil when Foggy finds out that he's Daredevil.
Amazing.
The way that was dealt with
so
was fun. Like, there's so many shows, you know, where the superhero's
like,
sidekick finds out and he's like, oh my god, Bruce, you're really Batman. Oh no,
but
what do I
cool,
do?
Let's do this.
Yeah. His reaction, the way that was dealt and the way he acted
They did a whole episode of it. Like,
amazing.
It took an entire, like, 1 hour episode for him to do that. It was good. Like,
I was such
amazing.
a fan.
So, yeah, that's a good thing I really like about Daredevil is that, like, it had a number of other things also going on, right? And this is why I may like it more than Jessica Jones, is that, first of all, they take a really long time to kind of set up this villain, and then when you finally get then you get into his backstory, it becomes like almost like a reverse storytelling kind of thing. It was just superb. And then, you know, there are other really, you know, good characters. There's, you know, there's Stick. There's, you know, obviously this whole legal drama that's happening at the same time. There's also the thing of Rosario Dawson's Claire Temple. Great character, awesome character. And so there's a bunch of other things also happening. So they're not fixated on that. Jessica Jones, for me, was just like the whole, right from the first episode, she's like, oh, let me just, like, it's like another day in the office of Jessica Jones. She's like, let me take up this case. And this family comes to them and they're like, oh, our daughter's missing, so and so. And then it turns out to be the rest of the show, like the rest of the whole series is based on that one case, which is starting from, you know, it's the Purple Man who's responsible for this. What's her name? I can't remember.
What's Hope.
Hope, Hope Schlottman, and you know, it just Schlottman, yeah, and it's just like it. I don't know if you've read have you read Alias, like the series which is based on? So I've read a lot of it, and it's like I didn't finish the first run actually. I didn't finish it, but like it's got a number of things going on. Like the first one is about Captain America, and there's like he's got a special case for her. And it's really cool because she has like this weird relationship with all the superheroes that we see, and like exclusively, like I remember also when they were writing it, like this is what they said, they were not allowed to use some characters because it was such a R-rated, it was like the first of their Max series, which is where all the really adult kind of stuff they would do, like the content, like Alias was one of it, Punisher was there in it, and Ghost Rider, and they were really, really good series, all of them. Was there a Daredevil Max series? I'm not even sure. But yeah, just really, really adult and stuff like that. And I really liked that they could do like different things and they couldn't allow certain characters because, you know, it would be weird to show Spider-Man in this conversation where this woman is shooting her mouth off, you know, but yeah, so I was kind of hoping to see that in this show. And like, I feel like they wasted an opportunity in not like...
They could come back and, you know, season 2 or Defenders.
That's what kind of also bothered me. So the show had a single track, which is just like Purple Man, Purple Man, Purple Man, Purple Man.
Right.
And nothing else. And then right at the end, in the last episode, strangely, Claire Temple shows up.
Yeah.
She could have come somewhere earlier, I feel. And this is what the general consensus of it is, that, you know, it feels like the series went on like 2-3 episodes too long. Because there was too many, there was one too many, what I felt was the, you know, clinical final climax of this show. Like the one when he finds out that, you know, he's entered this club and that club is so well done. Like it's empty and it's purple and it's great. And, you know, she finally gets...
Gotham, I thought.
Yeah, very Gotham,
very
right?
Gotham.
And she gets like Luke Cage to kind of he basically you know, mind controls Luke Cage. And I thought that was like, oh, that was it. And before that, I thought when he's in this, you know,
cage.
You know, that little cage kind of thing, I thought that was the final one. And that was a really weird kind of like place they took the story, which is really interesting. I've never seen it before, where you've captured a villain and like, you know, it's like this weird thing to see what kind of game he plays. Like, they did it once in The Dark Knight, but like, it was really unique to see that. And then it just like went on, and there's one more climax, and there's one more, and then there's a final one.
On that note, I thought the weakest thing about both shows was their final battle, the final confrontation with Kingpin and with both of them were just like really
fight scenes,
just such meh deaths. I mean, like, they built up so much, and I know like we wanted to see Daredevil wear the costume and have the fight finally with the guy. That's great. Cool. That's
it's great. The last 30 seconds,
right?
Pretty much of the show.
But the fact that both those guys went down like that, she just like grabs his neck and breaks his neck. Like, you could have done that so many times. Like you said, there were multiple endings. I liked all the setups for the ending, so I didn't mind the fact that it was going on.
Same. So did I.
The fact that these villains were such larger than life, and then when they were killed, it was just like, you're dead. I was like, what? I thought it would take a little bit more.
It's true, and I was kind of sad to see David Tennant like knocked off from the show. Like, I really want him to be there in it.
I'm hoping maybe she's still haunted by him.
He's
just let that animation do it. Let him voice like her own.
Exactly, because you can't get rid of that.
Yeah.
And speaking of who's doing that really well, I don't know if you saw. Did you see Sherlock, the new episode?
Yeah.
So I've seen it twice now. I really liked it because I
was on the fence.
The storytelling has just like upped itself for me, like just because they go so back and forth between what is real and
the way they navigate that story was amazing.
So good. And I think it's worth watching like the second time because I got so much more out of it watching it the second time, and like because you know obviously the ending, so you know what that like, and this works really especially well, especially for Sherlock, is that once you know the final, the act, and you know what is really the meaning of it all, then when you watch it again, you can just like piece together, oh, this is what this guy said, oh, this is what he was talking about, and that's what I think it happened for this episode like so well. And the fact that it ended on this really cool thing is that Sherlock is just like the modern day Sherlock is just an imaginary vision of the actual Sherlock. Just thinking of what the future might be like. That's awesome, dude.
It's great.
It was so good.
It was meta as all hell. And I'm sure I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
I think
more
once
the
second watch. Yeah, definitely. And I think so. This is my point. Is that now? So we know for a fact that Moriarty is dead, and he's just haunting Sherlock with like these visions and stuff like that. So both of them.
Man could probably do the same thing.
Yeah, maybe it would be cool to, but I don't know how they would deal with it in that sense. Which is actually I'm really interested in how they're going to do it in Sherlock. Like what I think what's going to happen? Like what's going to be the main adversarial kind of conflict for Sherlock?
I think it's going to be like a conspiracy thing of like just a whole group of people or like
a cult or something. Maybe. Yeah,
essentially like Hydra.
Interesting. That would be cool. I was thinking
jumping off into.
I see what you did there.
See what I did?
Yes.
My favorite thing.
Your favorite? This is your favorite show?
It's not my favorite show. It's not my favorite show.
I'm really upset with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's so good now.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Good.
I know. You speak. You are the one person.
I'm like the one guy in the world that like loves this show.
Who loves this show? Right?
But I do.
Yeah.
Because what I really like is that we've had this talk about.
So give it to me from the start. So I've seen the first season, right?
Right.
I again like the same problem of what Arrow has had, what Supergirl is going through.
It did. I agree.
Finding its feet, right?
Yeah. We are now deep into season 2, right? We are now going.
I just love how you're just like you're like part of their story group.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the comic. I am now in the club.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're way in deep, man.
No. So now they're going to like multiverses. They have portals that go to like other dimensions and stuff.
Oh,
other
like
planets. They are on other planets.
Oh, what the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, they are on. They are like jumping between planets, and now they're like working with Hydra in some weird way. So what basically I like about it is that. We've had this talk before with a lot of the Marvel movies, actually all of them pretty much, maybe with the exception of Loki, who's come back multiple times. The villains have never been the best because
except for the Netflix shows. Yeah.
Except for the Netflix shows. I'm talking about the MCU.
Yeah.
The villains have never been the best because I mean it's always been about setting up the hero and like we already like the hero, but I want to like your villain that you create for me so that I can really be conflicted as to like who I actually want to win. Because, So with this. They're continuing Hydra, even though Hydra has, technically died off with Red Skull.
And I mean, Hydra's died off, and then, they've infiltrated in Winter Soldier. That's what has happened, right? Yeah.
So now, S.H.I.E.L.D. got disbanded, right?
And then it comes together again.
And now they're trying to bring it back, so that's why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is very centered around just these guys. But they are finding out as the seasons go on that it's a much bigger thing than Red Skull.
So give it to me this way.
It's going back to, like, thousands of years.
What?
It's a giant conspiracy that knew about portals in other dimensions from like
Like
the
an
medieval era.
Illuminati kind of...
Essentially, it's Illuminati.
Which
Yeah,
is
so-
there in the Marvel comics. Like the,
Right.
Yeah.
So now that we have the Inhumans, which is my favorite part about
Yeah.
it, the fact that they're setting the groundwork for a movie that's going to come out in
2020 now.
3-4 years, right? Inhumans are like everywhere, and they're actively, dealing with S.H.I.E.L.D. and whatnot. So the fact that what really excites me about it, other than Hydra, which now I actually care about, because I didn't really care much for Hydra in Captain America, the first one. I was intrigued in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, definitely.
Now I really like them because I can see how deep this goes. But what I'm most excited about, and why I'm invested now so deeply with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is because the Inhuman storyline is so strong in this thing.
Yeah.
They have an Inhuman on the team. The lead actor, Chloe Bennett, is an Inhuman.
And she didn't know that.
And she didn't know that.
So how they defined Inhumans here? Like, because I know
Essentially
that...
X-Men.
So yeah, that's what that's the purpose they're saying, because they can't use mutants.
Alien
DNA and
alien
Earth's-
DNA that gets activated by this
okay.
thing that
Alright.
that basically gets set loose on the population, and
Right.
so right now they're going around trying to find these people, and it's bleeding into the Civil War kind of thing.
Oh, sweet.
Which I'm also very curious to see how it plays in, because they're trying to track down these Inhumans and sort of like help them out and say, hey, you're gonna deal with some weird superpowers that you're going to not understand and not know how to deal with. Come to us, let us help you. But then Hydra is like, hey, we can, help you really
Ooh.
exploit it and really get to know your power and like help you utilize
Interesting.
it. So it's the X-Men storyline, right? But the Civil War thing comes in which these Inhumans don't want to be put in cages by S.H.I.E.L.D. And you can't tell us what to do.
So it's X-Men.
So it's X-Men.
Yeah,
It is
cool.
really X-Men.
All right.
But the fact is, this movie is going to come out in 4 years, and
what
they're
are they gonna do?
actively doing this now. So, like, for 3 years, we're going to have this backstory that people that watch the show, all 10 of us that watch this show, are going to know so much about the Inhumans.
Yeah.
But, the millions of people that'll watch Inhumans in 2020 won't know all this backstory. So how are you going to deal with that?
I think it's like the same effect that like Clone Wars has for like episodes 2 and 3. It's like it's set between 2 and 3, and there's like a lot of time has passed between that, and they explore like every single like nitty gritty of like the Star Wars universe, what happens during the Clone Wars just between those 2 episodes. And when the episode 3 comes out, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
But like if you watch the show, then wow, that's a real war that's going on. So I think
you'll get to know more about Grievous, and you'll get to be more invested.
Effectively, I think that's what's going to happen.
But here's the thing. With the Clone Wars, with the TV show, they continued the characters that were in the movie, right? In 2 and 3, like Grievous, for example, like all the Jedi and the Council and everything like that.
Exactly, yeah.
There was continuity there.
Yeah.
Nobody in S.H.I.E.L.D. right now are like the major players of the Inhuman comics. Like Black Bolt and his whole crew
that's what I
is
was
nowhere to
gonna
be
wonder,
seen.
because I really want to see
So that's
Black
what
Bolt.
I'm waiting for in S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, are they going to introduce those guys?
I don't know.
Because if they don't, and the Inhuman movie is about Black Bolt and that whole stuff.
That's probably what's going to happen, though.
But then, what about all these other guys? How are they going to factor in?
This is true.
The fact that they've been around for like eons and we've known about them and we've followed their story so closely.
Yeah.
You introduce Black Bolt as like this epic demigod.
He is.
It's like, well, then why do I care about him when you've trailed me along with these guys?
Yeah.
So it's a very tricky position they're putting themselves in, which is what I like in any story. I like seeing when a writer like puts themselves digs
corner,
themselves into a pit and like, how are you going to get out of that?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a fail, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they're
It is
taking this
interesting.
risk.
No, and I know you speak about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a lot, so I am going to watch like season 2 and stuff like that. But yeah, I just like that they've kind of very cleverly kind of used them as the mutants, because they can't. I mean, Fox has the rights to mutants, so they've kind of done that. I really like the Inhumans are really important characters in the Marvel canon. Like, so I wonder, like, this is actually a very valid point. Like, how are they going to introduce Black? I don't think they'll do it in the show, but I think they might lead up to say, there's this one guy who's like the king of which he is.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really cool to watch. So I think this would be like the essential viewing for any like major fan.
And what I really want to see is
Yeah.
the fact that he can't speak.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
How are you going to make me care about a guy that can never tell me why he's awesome? You know
Because
what I
when
mean?
he
Like,
opens his mouth, that's when it matters.
but if he opens his mouth, the world will die.
no, not the world.
Like, enough of the world that it's like, your movie is over because you've just killed all the entire cast.
So it's cool, man. Yeah, I want to see Lockjaw also.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of really good characters in Humans, and they've like had a bunch of run-ins with the Avengers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be good. I really wanted to see how they did. Like, I was really hoping Phase 3 was gonna be like not the Infinity War, but like Secret Invasion, which is a really good run in the
It
comics.
is
Is when all the
great run.
when all the Skrulls kind of come down and
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
taken the place of all these people, and that's where the Inhumans are done best. So I wonder if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is gonna do like maybe Secret Invasion, but like I think that's gonna form maybe like
Possibly.
that might be one of the major arcs that leads up to maybe.
Two of the supporting characters, Mockingjay and
That's the other thing I was gonna.
I'm blanking on his name. Oh crap.
So Mockingjay is supposed to have a Mockingbird, by the way.
Yeah, Mockingbird.
Yeah, Mockingjay is Jennifer Lawrence,
the other
who
one.
I hate in X-Men. Sorry, I just wanted to put that out there.
Fair enough.
No, but yeah, so Mockingbird is supposed to get her own show.
They are.
apparently.
It's confirmed. They're getting their own.
They're doing a bunch of new shows, by the way.
Yeah.
They're doing a sitcom one called Damage Control, which is funny. Damage Control. So Damage Control is supposed to be like this, like literally a damage, like a company that just cleans up the mess that superheroes make when they have these battles and stuff like that. So it's supposed to be like that's one
Yeah.
thing. And DC is also doing a show
Called
I don't know what it's called. They don't have a name, but it's like set in an insurance agency in the real world of like the DC universe. And like
for all the collateral damage.
yeah. So it's weird.
Nice.
And so they're both kind of doing this sitcom-y kind of versions of it, except as Damage Control in the comics is actually from Civil War. They're the guys who
Clean up the mess.
But they're like the corporation who are funding like Nitro. Like that's when Nitro kind of explodes in the beginning of Civil War, which is really what kind of instigates the Superior Registration Act. And like the only person who goes after him is Wolverine, and he finds the main guy, cuts off his head. It's awesome. So and now they've just made that into like this fun-loving company in a TV show. So that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be interesting to watch. And like two shows exactly the same almost. So yeah, lots of good stuff to look forward to in like. What do you think of Luke Cage, by the way? Like
I really liked him.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
I hope to see
I hope
him
it's-
talk a lot more.
So that's the other question. Will his show be worth watching? Is he good enough to be watched as like a 13-hour kind of thing? I hope, man. I hope it's good. Like they have a couple of things that I think Jessica Jones will be in Luke Cage also, by the way.
Yeah, probably,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
And,
there
like-
are a couple.
And
essentially.
physically also. So yeah, man. Good
Cool.
stuff.
TV is awesome.
That's effectively what we get. Like, yeah, man, it's got like kabow and boom, and then TV's awesome. It's cool. We should have just done that in the beginning.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to
So
this
last part of the
little
show, man.
other thing we have.
Oh, last part of the show. Let's just let's do some quick research and ask each other about.
Let's look up some stuff on the phone. Random news generator. Go.
Random news generator.
Random news generator.
Right. Random news. It's not actually random. It's quite relevant. Go.
What do you got?
What do I have? I was going to say something. Oh, yeah, man. Very, very sad news. I heard from, my people who tell me the news. George Miller's not going to direct Mad Max anymore. He's not going to do any more Mad Max films.
Does it mean there won't be any more Mad Max films, or he won't?
So he's not going to be. He's George Lucasing it, which is a thing now. So yeah.
To who? Do we know who's gonna?
No, so they have not said anything. They
There will be a Furiosa solo flick, right?
I mean, the amount of money.
I've heard
and
about
how
it. I don't know if it's
critically
confirmed.
acclaimed-
I don't know.
Yeah. So actually, this movie was supposed to be called Furiosa, and then they were gonna, and then he was just like Fury Road instead. But yeah, and so this is really strange, and why this comes up is because like literally like 2 months ago. Or 3 months ago. I mean, like, he's just been, like, I think doing really, like, it's got a lot of critical acclaim. Arguably, it's the best film of last year. And he's just like, oh, yeah, I've got 2 more scripts planned, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm sure you've heard of the ordeal that he had to make this film, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
It took 9 years to do it because of weather
Because
conditions.
of weather conditions in a desert.
It's crazy. Like,
Where
it
you
took
would think
9
it's a
years.
desert. It's hot. That's about it. It
took
stays hot.
so much time.
And cold at night.
It took so much time that he had Mel Gibson cast as Mad Max in the beginning, and by the end he had to recast him. So, I mean, like, that's how much time. I think it's just also, like, he didn't get nominated for any Golden Globes. I don't know if he's getting nominated for Oscars or anything
He didn't get, but the movie got
Did
Golden
it?
Globe. Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah, so
it didn't win, but it got.
Which is sad.
I forget
though.
what it got for.
By the way, Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Snubs. So
Yeah.
many snubs. No Daredevil, man. I'm very upset. Such a good show.
At this point, I only watch these award shows just to see the hosts.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais is killing it as
And
usual.
it was good.
I love him, man.
It wasn't his best of his 4.
Oh gosh, Jishnu, nothing will ever make you happy. I mean, yeah, sure, it was good, but then the third act was like really sucky. No, but like he was fine. He's doing
fine.
a job. But yeah, no Mad Max films. Thoughts? They will do a Mad Max film, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money, yes, they will do it.
Or they'll wait like 20 years and then suddenly be like, guys, remember Mad Max?
They'll make
We're
Fury
doing-"
old No, okay.
Nice. Good try.
Yeah, okay. All right, so here's what I
Hit
have.
me, baby.
Here's what I have.
One more time.
Jamie Foxx,
Oh, I love Jamie Foxx, except as Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Go ahead.
Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx,
Yes, I loved him as Ray in the
Will-
movie Ray.
will play...
Yeah? Wait, I think I know this. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know it. Wait, will he play? Sounds like superhero related, I'm sure.
Ish.
Why would
Not-
you be
not really.
talking about it otherwise? I mean, like, is it like it's a geek thing, right?
it's a-
It's like,
yeah,
okay, cool. So, he's gonna be playing, he's playing the Power Ranger. That would be awesome. I'll watch that movie. Sorry, go ahead.
He is playing Little John, not the rapper,
Okay.
but Robin Hood's buddy.
What?
In a Robin Hood Origins.
You mean John Little, who they renamed Little John,
Little John.
because it's
He
a
will
funny
join,
thing.
He'll join Kingsman, the Secret Service star, Taron Egerton.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, so he is a battle-hardened but war-weary veteran of the Crusades who starts out distrustful of young Robin as they fought on opposite sides, but eventually warms up to the hero.
Okay.
So yeah, that's happening.
So I always thought Robin Hood is like a wasted franchise idea, at least.
It's Assassin's Creed with some charity involved.
No, dude, Assassin's Creed does.
It could be like that Assassin's Creed style of,
Yeah.
espionage and like sneaking around and doing stuff. And
stealth and stuff,
Yeah, the
right,
stealth
yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah,
so like
yeah.
it's
Espionage.
similar. Yeah, the fancy words,
Yeah,
I have
the
thesaurus.
Nottingham Espionage Force. Anyway, but like, did you watch Oliver Stone's Robin Hood? The one with Russell Crowe, and
Yes.
the one
Yeah,
where they basically
yeah,
want to
yeah.
make Gladiator, but they had already made
Yes,
Gladiator.
I know. Yeah, I did see it. I was like, yeah, it was forgettable.
Kevin Costner's? Have you seen that one?
Yes,
Vincent Thieves?
with Morgan Freeman.
You mean with Bryan Adams, Everything I Do, the greatest theme song of any film ever? Yeah.
I can't remember if I liked that film or not because it was so long ago. I really can't remember what my
it was
opinion is
before
on
we
it.
were born, Jishnu.
But I saw it when I was born or after I
Like,
was born.
Jishnu was born. Show him Prince of Thieves. No, but, and still the best one though. Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
I
Oh
love
my
that.
God.
It's so good.
So Monty
it's
Python.
so good.
Yeah.
Have you seen like Errol Flynn, Robin Hood
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, sure.
That was cool too. If you like that kind of stuff.
If you like. Yeah, sure, I do.
I like swashbuckling. I like the buckle of... What is swashbuckling? What?
It's a piratey thing.
It's a piratey thing, but like...
Yeah.
Is it so a buckle?
Swashbuckle.
So like a buckle of a belt?
Oh, is it?
I would imagine.
Oh,
so what is
man, I
what do you
totally
Is it
missed
like
that.
washing the belt? I don't
It's
know. What,
swash. Come
but
on.
what is a swash?
No, 1 second. Jishnu,
Is
don't
it a
be
swatch
silly.
wash? A swash watch.
No, it's not.
A swash wristwatch.
Stop.
A swash wristwatch.
But coming back to it, no man, they've not met. I don't think they've made it's poised. I think Robin Hood is poised. That's my opinion.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it could do really well if they just made it cool.
They should make a series out of it.
Oh man, everything should be made.
Everything should be made
series.
into a series because now we can.
Because now we
Because
can.
it's cheaper to make.
By the way, that's the
stuff
other
now.
thing, man. Like, do you think producers in India should just directly now go to Netflix and pitch them their shows instead of going through Balaji Telefilms?
Yes, absolutely.
This is what we were going to talk about, but we didn't.
We totally forgot about this.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, but I think they should, man. Like Robin Hood, great series. We make an awesome Netflix series.
I mean, there's a lot of poverty in India. They should make an Indian Robin Hood.
Oh my
You know
God,
what I
we
mean?
went there.
That'd be great. What?
No.
There's a lot of poverty in India. What?
No,
There
but
is. What?
yeah, I mean,
That's-
this is such a casual podcast about like fun, light things in life.
Hey, we were just talking about like economics of Netflix and like illegal piracy.
That's a problem that concerns us.
So does poverty. What? Why is this an issue?
No, I'm totally accustomed to this. I can totally have a conversation about it.
I think we're done.
Wait, we have one really important one which we can't miss.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What?
The casting for Harrison Ford's younger person in
It's
the Han Solo flick.
pretty close to being Set. Or is it set? It's not set,
It's
right?
not set, but like, you know what the shortlist is?
I saw an article about
I
that.
don't
Who
like
was it?
any of them.
Who was it? Who was it?
So there's about like 15 of them, and out of the most popular ones are Miles Teller,
Right.
Dave
I see.
Franco.
I have a Dave Franco, Miles Teller.
Dave Franco, Ansel Elgort. Have you
Yeah.
seen The Fault in Our Stars? Not ours, but
yeah.
just the movie. No, but have you?
I have.
Yeah, and
Was he the guy?
No, the main.
he's the main guy?
Yeah, he's the main guy. He's the other guy.
I was.
No, how many? No, she just looks like she has short hair in it.
Wait, the girl. Are you talking about the girl or the guy?
The guy.
Yeah, the
who
guy.
looks like a girl.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I was busy throwing up when I
What?
watched that movie.
Why?
I don't know. It was
Oh, whoa, like
movie?
that.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
man.
you were I thought you were saying, oh, I was really sick that day and I was watching The Fault in Our Stars. That's why I was watching The Fault in Our Stars. And then
Because of the movie.
Yeah,
I was
but then
sick.
you were sick because of the film. Wow.
Yeah.
Was it that bad? It's supposed to be like the new Twilight, dude.
And you don't think I threw up? Well, I haven't seen Twilight, so I probably would have thrown up if I saw it.
Oh,
but
man. Yeah.
it was
It's a
just-
masterpiece, dude. Twilight is...
Okay, let us not get into rom-com dissection.
Yeah, but... because that's what Twilight is. Sorry, I just want to say... I'm not happy with any of these guys, though. Do you think they'll be able to pull it off?
I'm looking at this list and I'm like,
No, man.
I don't know, man.
I'm not excited by this Han Solo prequel.
Dave Franco.
Dave Franco,
That's
really?
that's an insult. That's
like casting lesser James Franco as Harrison Ford.
It's like oh man,
man, that's gonna be.
I'm very nervous.
No, I
now.
do like Dave Franco. I mean, I just
He's
separately.
fine for what he does. He can't do. Hey, whatever.
I think it's gonna be Miles Teller though, and I do not know how I'm gonna feel about
I really
that.
don't know.
Yeah, I just
Is
wish.
he going to join the Cantina band and play drums? That'd be great.
Oh my god, that's a great
That's how he,
cross media. That's cool. That's a
crossover
good
film.
one. Good one.
And then Jabba comes. That's not my tempo. Blah, 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 blah. Waka, waka, waka.
Am I rushing? Are you rushing or are you dragging? Oh god. Yeah, that's funny. Good one, Jishnu.
It happens. It happens.
You have your moments. No, but yeah, man.
Once a year.
Anyway, I just want to say that I am not happy, and I think this is my official petition. Oh, by the way, speaking of petition, last thing ever. Okay, there is a petition online, and it's got 21,300 signatures to get George Lucas to direct Episode 9 instead of Colin Trevorrow.
Huh.
Yeah, and Colin Trevorrow read it. And he laughed, and he's like, "That's funny." Yeah.
Did you see his Kennedy honors? George Lucas?
Oh no! What?
He was on the thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
It was cool. It was. Unfortunately,
did they just like not reference Star Wars? That would be hilarious.
course
right?
they did. Of
No,
course
because
they
it'd be like, "Hey man,
Yeah,
thanks for Indiana Jones
and American Graffiti.
and
Bye.
American Graffiti."
See ya.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
the Kennedy honors are always like far more entertaining at the music section of it.
Yeah,
Clearly.
so
the
much
the
better.
film thing is just like, here's a beautiful montage. With
Like, hey George, but why don't you perform for us? Like, tell us a story.
yeah, make up a story now. Go. Oh, you're such a brilliant storyteller.
Yeah.
No, it was like James Earl Jones doing like a
what?
voiceover.
Really?
He did a voiceover over the
Oh,
montage
nice,
thing.
nice.
And 3PO and R2 came on stage and like said some jokes and
What? R2 told some jokes.
he went beep boop bop bop and 3PO
That guy's
said, "Oh, don't
hilarious.
call me that."
That guy's
As
hilarious.
he always does. And then Spielberg comes on and says, "Oh, you're great. We've
My
known each other
BFF.
for like forever. Thanks,
Yeah.
thanks. Okay, bye."
Yeah.
And then Aretha Franklin went on and then made
What?
like 21 million views for like the other thing for like.
Oh,
Natalie-
I thought she like
for-
sang the Star Wars.
No,
theme.
that was for.
And Aretha Franklin singing. That would be amazing.
No. Anyway,
Okay. This was good though.
we should go now.
Yeah, cool, man. So we're going to do a couple of special episodes, like maybe the next time we come back. And maybe it's not like we can get... Can we get cancelled? I don't know, man. This is a dangerous topic to tread. But yeah, there's some cool outdoorsy kind of stuff also.
Don't tell me what to do.
You're not the director of me.
You're not the.
That's what Robert Downey Jr. says to Nick Fury. I thought that was a great joke.
We should go now.
Okay, cool. So we're done. Thank you, guys. You can find us on... Please subscribe to our podcast. Tell everybody else about it. And, just share the love, man. And you can find us on a bunch of places, which Jishnu will tell you.
Geekfruit.in at GeekFruitHQ for all your social media needs.
Which are needs. They're not even like... They're not actual things that you want.
You just don't stop talking. Okay, bye, nerds.
Oh, sorry. Last thing.
What? Oh, Jesus.
Contact geekfruit@gmail.com.
That thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Email. Tell us.
Cool. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
When this podcast is over, then you have my permission to die.
Hey, Jishnu, you remember that time we were on Cyrus's podcast?
What's a Cyrus?
Let me tell you, if you like listening to our show,
Who does? Let's be honest.
Everyone.
Oh, then I guess as long as we're being honest.
Then they will definitely love people like Cyrus Brocha, who has an amazing podcast. Which we
The
were
Cyrus
on.
Brocha?
The Cyrus Brocha. There is only one. And his podcast is called Cyrus Says. And it's hosted by him also.
He's a man of many talents.
He's very, very, very talented. And irreverent. And he talks about everything in that style, I guess. Like current events. Urban India. Current events in urban India. Politics. Sports. Political sports. Civic senses. Civic sense? What's that? I have no idea. But
I
she
failed
talks about
civics
it.
in school, so I don't know.
What, really?
I think I did. I don't remember. It was
No
a while
wonder.
ago.
No wonder. Traffic. Food. Kids. I don't want to mix those up. And everything, pretty much. He talks about everything. And he's great.
This sounds like fun.
We were on it, and he spoke about our stuff also.
That was a lot of fun.
He's actually quite a nerd, also.
He is
He is quite a nerd.
Fun.
He knew his stuff. So, yeah, he's solid. So, everyone, go listen to him on ivmpodcast.com.